So hey, my little hams, I've been thinking about various forms of added sugar and addictions and stuff, and you only have to really care about this stuff if it's affecting you, you know? Again, I keep switching back and forth between things like this stuff. You know what this is? Sweet and Low, Splenda, 0 calorie sweetener. 0 calorie sweetener. You know what 0 calorie sweetener is? It's basically addictive stuff without making you fat. So you're still addicted to this. It's kind of like, trying to get your Starbucks fix every day. Like I just had a Starbucks drink, and people are addicted to Starbucks. There's little animations on YouTube even of women that just keep going to Starbucks over and over again throughout the day because they're addicted to the drinks. And there's so many people that are addicted to stuff, and artificial sweeteners are in quite a few things. So, you're like, okay, I'm addicted to these sugary drinks, but they make me fat. So I'm going to use artificial 0 calorie sweeteners instead, and then you're still addicted, and it's not funny. It's not a game. And I'm pretty bad at being addicted to foods. Like for a while I started chewing and spitting out food. Like, I was like, I'm really craving a pizza, a Papa John's pizza. But Papa John's pizzas are thousands of calories if you're going to sit down and eat the whole pizza, which I would. So, I would order a Papa John's pizza. It would make me sick because I would eat the whole thing. I would regret it. It would make me fat. And then you see the keto diet and they're like, oh, you could make a cauliflower pizza or, some sort of makeshift knockoff. For one, it's not going to taste the same, so you're not going to get your craving fix. A lot of times it's the mystery of, oh my God, I love those foods. I love cheesecake. I love pizza. I love Chinese food. All extremely fattening. I mean, you go to Starbucks, I get the frappuccinos. I get the most fattening things on the menu, But I also do appreciate some of the more watery, sweet drinks that aren't filled with, 500 plus calories. But I mean, so, for example, there's a lot of foods that if you don't add anything, you don't add sugar, you don't add, for example, I've got some walnuts here. Walnuts are just a nut. It's just a nut, my dudes. These are just, they're not very addictive. But you can add olive oil. You can sprinkle on some salt. Salt is known as a flavor enhancer. You use too much salt, it increases your blood pressure. Or you could do what a lot of people do. Get some Nutella, spread it all over your walnuts, spread it all over bread, which is a double whammy of carbs and sugar. So, I mean, for example, this thing, 200 calories, servings 20. So what's 20 times 200? That's quite a few thousand calories in this thing. And if you're just drizzling it all over your walnuts, chocolate covered nuts, which is a huge thing, it adds up, added sugars, added. So you can have healthy food, a chicken breast, a potato, some nuts. So what I've been doing the past few hours is evaluating, okay, how far do I want to go? Is, putting on Montreal steak seasoning onto hamburgers. Okay. I'm sure it has, like I said, a lot of salt. It even says along the top, this product contains 125 milligrams of sodium or original on, blah, 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 seasoning, 180 milligrams of sodium per serving. So, again, these are warnings that a lot of people have to actually look out for. These are subtle, under the surface problems with a lot of these things, these flavor enhancers, these addictive substances. I mean, again, so many people, water, You have water, healthy. You have walnuts, healthy. Okay. And then you start adding things like tea. You know, this is chai tea. Chai tea is really good. Chai tea. Okay. And then, so you're enhancing the water with tea. But then you start enhancing it with sweeteners and creams. And you go from water, which has no calories, which is the basic substance that you need, to a fattening, addictive drink. You can go from walnuts, which are not very addicting, to a salt-covered, chocolate-glazed, addictive treat. So, I'm trying to evaluate what do I want to incorporate in my life at this point. And it kind of also reminds me of video games. Like, so many people get addicted to video games. And again, I've tried so many times to play video games on YouTube to make it work. And, you end up getting addicted and going down a rabbit hole a lot of times, for me anyway. I try to play one game. It's kind of like a gateway drug. I'm like, okay, I'm going to play Fortnite. I'm going to make Fortnite videos, ASMR videos. The next thing you know, I'm installing 50 different games, trying those games. And even, Fortnite was one of the better games for making YouTube videos, but even then, constantly dying and stuff. And then getting addicted to the Fortnite item shop where you're actually buying items, buying skins that you don't need. So again, there's so many addictive things, people nostalgic about video games, trying to get that fix that they had from a long time ago. And I think YouTube has taught me a lot about that addiction stuff. And I think people are becoming more aware of it. Like, say you grew up playing a game that's very addictive, and then you make videos playing those games. I've found that it makes me a lot more self-aware of just, the little nuances and addictions of it. So, you're fully aware that you're having all these addictive cravings and you're dealing with all these things. And, it's like, when does it stop? When does it end? Where does it start? You have to, and that's the reason why you have to make your own food. Because you go to McDonald's, you go to the gas station, it's all processed, sugar, salted, carbohydrates and sugar everywhere, drenched in fried fat batter, and you have to go back to the basic elements. Walnuts by themselves. Walnuts without any added sugar or flavor enhancers. If you give me a whole bag full of salted, sugar, chocolate-y glazed walnuts, I'm going to be tempted to eat the whole bag. In my opinion, walnuts and pecans taste pretty good on their own. They're just not addictive. There's no loot boxes or added sugar to these. There's no over-the-top dopamine fix. If I'm just feeling a little hungry, I want to munch on something, I can have some of these. So I'm thinking, again, what I do, which is really nutty, is I can't stand to have tasty, high octane junk food around me because I have to consume it all very quickly. And the more I reduce the addictive substances, the better I can handle it. Yeah, I like walnuts. Yeah, I'm willing to eat them. But I think I can put them down and leave them alone. These are really good. Recently, I started getting hamburger patties. and romaine lettuce leaves and avocado, and adding that with some steak seasoning, and it tastes really damn good. It's probably the salt, probably the avocado. Even fat is addicting. Avocados, salsa, even goddamn salsa, it's acidic, I guess, sweet. If you just left me with hamburger meat and lettuce, you know, and I couldn't add mayonnaise, salt, seasoning, avocado, and you just leave me with protein and fiber, I don't think I would just sit down and crave it and eat it. So I'm addicted to even healthy things like avocado. It's kind of funny because like fat people, they'll try to eat more fruits and vegetables. And they gravitate towards the highest carb and sugar fruits and vegetables. Mangoes, apples, bananas. They'll go after the most high carb sugar shit instead of things like raspberries. Raspberries are still really good. And they're really healthy. But, fat people gravitate towards the fattiest, highest calorie, sweetest things on the menu. Can be from a restaurant. Go to Starbucks, you can have like a black coffee or a mocha frappuccino. One has 0 calories, one has like 500 plus calories. The fat ass is going to, find the most sugary, high calorie thing on the menu. With the most creamer, the most chocolate, the most sugar. So you have to evaluate, okay, what addictive substances can I handle responsibly? And sadly, it's not much. I think I could overeat walnuts even. Fucking walnuts. But I do think it's harder for people to overeat apples and bananas as well. I'm just saying that oranges, little tangerines, those are good. If you think about it, a lot of these foods are really healthy and they're really good. On their own. Without any flavor enhancers, but especially products, made by companies, they're designed to make it as addicting as possible. They're gonna sugarcoat these. They're gonna glaze them in chocolate. They're gonna dump salt all over them and fats and oils to make people want to buy it even more. And that's why there's so many fat people around here. Again, some people have addictive personalities in different areas. Some people don't have, food issues. Some people don't have an unhealthy relationship with food, but a lot of people do. A lot of people have unhealthy relationships with a lot of shit. And that's why, a lot of times you have to quit cold turkey. Sometimes you forget. But once it starts catching up with you, gee, I'm getting fat. Gee, I don't feel so good. You have to make a change. So it's a constant roller coaster ride of eating healthy, eating junk food, eating healthy, lounging around, working out. It's a constant change. Like, I think I'm pretty much done with walnuts. You know, I'm not gonna munch on anymore for a while. But, you know, if you put chocolate on them, I could probably eat a whole lot more of them. So anyway, I was gonna say one last thing. I don't know.